Criticism of Labor's federal budget has become so intense there are now calls from the opposition for an election to settle the issue. And Anthony Albanese has also come under fire from one of his own Labor colleagues. Here's political reporter Josh Martin.
Good afternoon. There have been a lot of critics of this federal budget. Now Premier Chris Minns has given his 2 cents. Employees on the top tax bracket are currently paying 47 cents in the dollar to the tax office when you include the Medicare levy. Chris Minns says the federal government needs to be doing everything it can to hand back more money to workers. Opposition leader Angus Taylor has proposed indexing the tax brackets to inflation to solve this problem, though that would cost the budget tens of billions every year.
You're working Monday, Tuesday and half of Wednesday for yourself, and then Wednesday, Thursday and Friday for the government. It's a tough burden for a lot of families to hit.
The Prime Minister is vowing to use his numbers in the Parliament to force the legislation through before the July winter break. The reforms include grandfathering negative gearing, allowing new investors to use the tax break solely on newly constructed homes. Labor's other controversial change is to scrap the 50% capital gains tax discount on all assets, replacing it with an inflation-adjusted model with a minimum 30% tax rate. It's important to note that the family home remains exempt and small business concessions remain as well.
We're making no changes to the small business CGT capital gains tax exemptions which are currently available.
The Prime Minister says he's changed his mind on capital gains tax. Well, he should give the Australian people the chance to change their mind and have another election.
What's your take on this heated political debate? Drop your opinion in the comments below and let us know where you stand on these controversial tax reforms and the election demands.
He's calling for an election on this issue.
Sure.
I'm just wondering, with the coalition's polling at historical lows, whether you share your coalition partner's political death wish.
I have never been afraid of elections, but I am not suggesting that that's the case. Matt has made those statements.
The Prime Minister is highly unlikely.
What you're about to see is a political storm building inside Australian Parliament as Labor's federal budget triggers serious backlash, rising tension, and now even direct calls for an election. What started as a routine budget discussion has quickly escalated into a full-scale political confrontation that is now putting Prime Minister Anthony Albanese under intense pressure from both the opposition and voices within the broader political landscape. The controversy centers around Labor's new tax reform agenda, which critics argue could significantly reshape how Australians are taxed. According to political reporting from Josh Martin, the criticism surrounding this budget has reached a level where opposition figures are openly suggesting that the only way to resolve the dispute may be to return to the voters through an election. That alone shows how politically charged the situation has become across the country. Adding to the pressure, Premier Chris Minns has weighed in, highlighting concerns about the current tax burden on workers. When factoring in the Medicare levy, Australians in the top tax bracket are effectively paying around 47 cents in every dollar earned. Minns argues that the government should be doing more to ease financial pressure and ensure workers receive more of their income rather than losing it through taxation. On the opposition side, Angus Taylor has put forward a major proposal, indexing tax brackets to inflation. The idea is aimed at stopping bracket creep, where inflation pushes workers into higher tax brackets without real income growth. However, while the proposal sounds appealing to households feeling cost of living pressure, economists warn it could cost the federal budget tens of billions of dollars annually, creating a major fiscal challenge. A striking line emerging from the debate is the idea that many Australians are effectively working nearly half their week just to meet government taxation, a framing that has intensified public frustration and added emotional weight to the discussion across voters and media commentary. Inside Parliament, the Prime Minister is taking a firm and strategic stance. He has made it clear that he intends to use his parliamentary majority to push these reforms through before the July winter break. This includes controversial adjustments to housing-related tax policies, such as limiting negative gearing benefits to newly built properties for new investors. Supporters say this could help increase housing supply, while critics argue it could disrupt the property market in unpredictable ways. If you want to stay updated on this political battle, make sure you like the video, drop your opinion in the comments, and subscribe for more breaking updates as this story continues to unfold.